Hello?
You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed on this channel are of the host and not of LadyJMedia. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What Up Baltimore TV. And if you really don't want to miss any of the shows, hit that notification bell and you'll get a message every time we come on. Now, we got it from here, so sit back, relax, and stay tuned.
Matter of fact, you can't go through it once you go back in it. Matter of fact, you don't go back in it unless you're going back in it over and over again, because it's like a revolving door that keeps saying, hey, come visit me. Even when you're doing good, you might get in a drive-by or a shootout, and even if you're the victim, you're still going to jail because your past criminal record and you weren't supposed to be near a gun or bullet or even almost dying. So although you survived, sir, we need to tell you you have the right to remain silent. Because you won't give us all the information that we need to know about when you almost died. But we're not concerned about that part. We want to know who was shooting out of your car when the other people were shooting at your car. We know it was someone shooting, even if it wasn't you. Who was it? So then there's that moment where I gotta decide, is do or die now. Do I keep it a G? Or I decide I don't want to ride now. I don't want to be street no more. I'm in a situation where I got 30 years over my head, and if this dude get me locked up, it won't be no more. So then there's that moment where I decide that I won't snitch, and I hold it down, and I keep strong to the street code, even though the streets don't love me. In fact, the streets might kill me. In fact, the streets might be the reason why I got this gun anyway. And then there's this moment where I realize it's all or nothing.
Hello?
I'm right here. I'm sorry. I was in the background doing something. Let me turn my camera on. Oh, man, today. All right, I'm going to be talking. It's I don't know, the streaming site is blocking my camera for right now for some reason, but I'm going to just talk to you, everybody. Welcome to What Up Baltimore. My name is DrLadyJ, and I have you tell me what you want me to call you, because I can call you Mr. Watson, DJ B, man, whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. You let me know, and I will call you that title. But this is our Monday night show where we talk to people who have been formerly incarcerated, they're just coming home. And so he's going to, I don't even know all of his story. I really don't know. But he's going to tell us his story. And I can't wait to hear it, because when he told me about his convictions and arrests and stuff, I was like, wow. So I definitely. And you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you. I'm gonna try to get my camera on here.
Okay.
But go ahead
All
and
right,
tell us
first
a
of
little
all,
bit.
go ahead.
No, I'm saying go ahead and tell us a little bit about you.
Well, first, I want to thank God and also Dr. Lady J, man. I'm praying for you, God. Undergird you, give you resources for the impact you have in locally, men, women, and that's not easy. So I'm praying for you and with you. 25 arrests, 5 convictions, arrested in 3 different states, 5 children, 4 baby mamas in 3 different states, 19 psych
Wow.
ward admissions, 19 treatment programs, and 19 long-term treatment. I'm going to say that again. 19 individual psych ward admissions, 19 treatment, 20, 30-day treatments, and 19 transitional recovery houses and long-term programs, 3 going all the way from 3 months to a year. Right. So I want to start with trauma, and I'm gonna tie it in. I was molested 6 to 8. I have memory gaps outside the family. When that happened, I vowed I didn't trust anybody. I wouldn't tell anybody anything. Talking about keeping secrets. I vowed nobody would hurt me physically, emotionally, period. Right. I became self-sufficient and protected myself. Then you got the streets of Baltimore. If you black, female, whatever, I had both parents was raised well, but I lived in areas where it was drugs and alcohol all around, right? So that alone is trauma. So then I go in the military. I'm a 100% disabled veteran, which means I received retirement for the rest of my life as my service to the country, right? So they got military trauma, sexual trauma, Baltimore trauma. And then I come home, I'm hitting jails and prisons. All other traumas, right? So that's very important with my story, untreated trauma. So that's just a little bit about me. In addition, on the positive side, um, I've been to Baltimore School of the Bible. I've been a CCAR certified recovery coach. I've been a keynote speaker for Prairie Point VA Hospital suicide prevention. I've been in a book. I co-authored a book, Grace and Mercy. Been on podcasts. I've owned DJ Man Entertainment, owned over 25 comedy shows and community shows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a little bit about me.
I want to go back to let me flip my camera around and do it the right way. I want to go back to your record because you kind of breezed through that real quick when you said it, and I'm sitting here like, what? So wait a minute. Let me just get my pen and paper first because I gotta write this down because I'm still trying to figure out how you walking around and you sane and doing all of that, but I know why. But let me
Sane is
see.
the base of right? Yeah, Jesus, right? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said 25 arrests
Yes. 5
and
convictions
5 convictions. Okay.
in 3 different states: Mammoth County, New Jersey; Martinsburg, West Virginia; and Maryland.
And that West
Jersey, West
Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah.
But I was gonna say that West Virginia regions, they don't play out there.
Common law. Yeah. They feds and common law. They kind of different. They real different.
Yeah, they don't play. They don't play. My son went to school out there. I know they do not play. Um, and so three different states, and what else?
3 different states. I have 5 children by 4 baby mamas in 3 different states. I have
Wait a minute.
19
Oh, wait,
psychiatric
hold,
units
hold on. You was rolling them off real fast. I'm trying to get it. So 5 children, and you said 4 baby mamas.
in 3 different states.
4 baby mamas. I'm writing this down because I got 3 different states. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
what else?
19 psychiatric admissions.
Whew, 19 psychiatric admissions.
19 treatment, 28, 30 days, 60-day treatments.
But what was
And
that for? Alcohol or drugs or something? Or
substance
what?
abuse, alcohol,
Substance.
drugs, and co-occurring disorders through the VA, because I'm also a veteran, right?
Mm-hmm.
100% PTSD, so it was a lot of co-occurring stuff. And then I had
Mm-hmm.
19 long-term programs, like 9 reaching transitional house, prison halfway houses, um, Oxford houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
So
Yeah.
let me go back a little bit. Hi, Mr. Truth Ministries, because you got my head spinning now. And y'all, I've been out all day because I had to go do a visit at the detention center. I didn't get to change clothes yet. And Mr. Watson got my head spinning right now. So when you got, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
I'm 57 now.
You 57. Okay. You had a lot going on to be 57. Oh my goodness. So 25 of rest. Now, how can you explain how you had to tell us what it was for, but how did that happen? Like, how was it moving along? Was it back to back or was it spread out? How was that?
That was it started off slow, right? It
Mm-hmm.
started off slow, and that's my personality even now. Like either be hot or cold for Christ. I'm even how I'm chasing God in business. That's just my makeup. So in the
Yeah.
street, I carry the same makeup. I'm like I'm gonna get it right. So
Mm-hmm.
um, most of them were second degree assaults, right? When I came home, I was military trained. These cats in Baltimore thought they was tough. I knew dudes who was willing to die, trained to die, didn't care about dying. So, and I was
Mm-hmm.
anger, untreated trauma from the molestation. So, and I like the street. So the second degree assault. So I
Mm-hmm.
really never was a drug dealer. I was a cop in the military, law enforcement for a year when I got out. I was working in the ambulance for 6 years, and I've been driving trucks after that. I always had
Mm-hmm.
one foot right and one foot wrong. My
Right,
first
right.
charge,
Mm-hmm.
my first conviction was 96 unauthorized. I stole an ambulance. I was working at the ambulance company and I stole it and I kept it. Right.
Wait a
Though
minute, wait
that
a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I don't mean to laugh. You stole an ambulance? You talking about the one that you drive people in the
yeah,
set when you got to take?
I was working on the ambulance, right? And it was
Mm-hmm.
time to get off and I was getting high and running and I said, well, I ain't gonna go back to the. I will keep it, and I kept it.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, I kept it. And I kept it. That wasn't the first time. That was the first time the boss just said, "Will, he told me, he said, man,
Mm-hmm.
you the best guy I got." But that was like the third time I did it. That time he locked me up. The rest of the time, I just take it back. He like, "Will, man, go get yourself together," right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But so
And
like
how old were you at that time?
at that time, I was like young, 21,
Mm-hmm.
22, 20, 21 around that. Now, keep in mind, my first charge is I was in the military. I got in the, I'm not saying this, it was real prejudice overseas, right? So these three
Mm-hmm.
white boys called me a nigga or a white guy Hawaiian. And I beat up three white guys. I was a cop. I used my nightstick. So that didn't go over well. So, and then
Mm-hmm.
I got locked up in Oxford. I was in England, London, outside of London. And that was
Wow.
civilian authorities. So the
Mm-hmm.
only thing they said, my mother saved me, right? Because she knew some people. So and then my signs of PTSD was happening and they knew what it was. So I was
Mm-hmm.
able to get an honorable discharge. So it happened, start happening in the military. But
Mm-hmm.
then like by the time I got locked, I was a robber. I mean, I've sold a little drugs, but I've robbed over 20 stores. That's just shouldn't say that. Hoping statute of limitation, it is gone. But that's what I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I did anything. I liked the street life. I liked to fight. Wherever the money was, whatever. I was more so a violent dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dudes who sold drugs would call me. I was just tenacious. I was small. My complexion, they thought, because of my complexion, I wasn't hard. I
Mm-hmm.
was military trained. I said, this is the code we living by. If we living by this code, you violate these principles. I pull my emotions out of it. Same way in the military. I knew how to shoot,
Mm-hmm.
take your emotions out. Just do what you got to do. So, and that was the mindset. But I was in the streets and by street code, right? And if you
Right.
violated the rules, you get the consequences. So I got all kind of charges. I got a kidnapping charge. These
Wait,
are the
wait, wait.
convictions.
Wait, you got a kid. So who you kidnapped? What can you say or
It really don't. They make it. They did charge me with kidnap. Somebody did something to me, right? And I said, okay, I'm gonna come deal with you. And I went and snatched him up. And I went and took him for a little ride. It really wasn't. It was a kidnapping, but yeah. Right. I don't know. I was in the street. They told me, you know, they was going to do this to me. I said, wait, right there. Here I come. I went and grabbed him and took him for a little ride.
Uh-huh.
And that's just what it was. But I got a robbery in 99. That was the one. Now, if you figure, but if they caught me in 99 for a robbery, by the time you get caught selling drugs or being violent or breaking the law, you done it probably 20, 30 times before they catch you. But that, and like, my biggest thing was the second degree assault. My parents raised me to defend myself. When I was younger, I would defend like the guys in the neighborhood, and I was kind of real smart. So like the nerdy guys, but as that anger morphed, I became the aggressor. So when I poured alcohol on top of it, it was, and I said, I'm fine. Like even with the molestation, I'm good. I'm fine. You know, in the Black communities, we just say, I'm good. Relationship trauma.
Right.
When they first gave me my money from the military, I go see the doc, right? The only reason I went, because I was having nightmares with my second wife, right? And I cared about her. I didn't want to lose her. I had a nightmare and it scared her. So I said, man, you better get some help. I'm not losing her. So I go to the doctor. So he started sending me to classes and stuff, put me, I had the sleep stuff and all that. So when finally, he pulled me in his office one day, he said, you think something wrong with you, Mr. Watson? I said, no. He said, okay. He said, you was a cop in the military. I said, yes, sir. He said, you was a cop when you got out. I said, yes, sir. He said, you was on the ambulance for 6 years. Yes, sir. He said, you seen a lot of death and dying. I said, yes, sir. He said, you don't think nothing wrong with you? I said, I don't want no money from the government. I'm a truck driver. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. So when I guess he knew I wasn't faking, because when I walked out, I got a check in the mail. That's when they gave me my, you know, because I guess a lot of guys try to fake it. I guess he said, this dude, he ain't faking. He didn't even want that money. Right. So, but then after the money, I started saying, maybe you ought to get some help. Right. When they took me to 100% total and permanent, I said something. Total and permanent mean I had to pay taxes. I get the rest of my life, a lot of stuff. My kids get $1,200 to go to school. I said, man, these people are saying something for a reason. And I started going to coping skills and I started realizing, accepting that, you know, I got some issues to deal with. I mean, because right now I get like $3,800 a month, right? And I'm like, well, the government ain't into giving nobody nothing, and they don't really like you. So if they're giving you that, something is wrong with you, Will. Right? And I started getting help. And I started getting help. Right.
Now, wow. So, okay. So we going down the list here. So we on 20, we did the 25 arrests. Now, the convictions that you had, how much time did you spend, you know, locked up for those convictions?
And if you, totality, I haven't done a lot of time. Maybe 5, 6 when you add it all together, right? One time, but I want to talk about prison. The broad definition of prison is confinement or captivity, right? And you got, so when you talk about 19 psych wards, 19 treatments, you're talking about institutions. So 5 years maybe in this detention center, that detention center, then I went out JPRU, and then you got 19 years pretty much of institutions, right? So, and that would do me a big disservice, man. I've been institutionalized for about 20 years, right? Because I wasn't home, I wasn't free, I couldn't go where I want. You know, I was either in jail or in treatment for like 20 years. Jail or treatment, jail or treatment, jail or treatment. So, but as far as time, and that's only God, right? That's only God. I don't know how I did everything that a lot of guys did, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's what he had for me, right? You know what I'm saying? But my journey, my process, them treatments and psych wards and all that, I guess that was my process, right? He didn't choose to do that for me. My robbery alone, they had 6 witnesses and fingerprints. I remember that I went to the court for that. They had turn them loose turnballs in Baltimore County. And I had turn them loose turnball. They said, boy, you going home. So I go in there, they had 6 fingerprints. That means had fingerprints, 6 witnesses, and I robbed a store and a tractor trailer, which is
Mm.
a commission of a felony. And this is a fed joint anyway. So they got the truck, they got me. I got away, but they caught me months later in Hagerstown. I go in there, my lawyer didn't even remember my name. They called me back the next day when they rescheduled it. They put me on alternative sentencing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now for a ride. So when I get, and then I'm in circuit court and I'm on probation for the ambulance. So that's supposed to be an automatic violation. I ain't supposed. I walk out of circuit court. I walk right over to the probation office. I see my agent. She look at me. She say, "You on probation? Just charged should have violated you." I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I ain't never seen nobody get alternative sentence for a robbery." That's what she did. So she said, "This is what I'm gonna do." She said, "I'm gonna run them together. I ain't gonna tell nobody. I ain't gonna violate you." And she let me work driving the truck. I ain't supposed to leave the state. I would send the postcards every month. Right?
Wow.
And
Wow.
we wasn't involved in nothing. The sister just was like, "No, I'm gonna help you." She, I didn't even know how that happened, right? And that's the God's honest truth. But that
Mm-hmm.
stopped making me take notice to, like, God's, it's something to God, this God thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you mentioned being abused. Was that by a male or a female?
that was a male.
Yeah, and so that any type of sexual abuse is bad, and you stay traumatized, if you don't get help, and then and I'm saying I was actually sexually abused as a kid as well, and we act out in other ways, because it's so much anger and all of the different emotions are going on inside of you, and you don't really have an outlet, and so we start acting out in other ways, and I want people to understand that as he's telling his story that it's so true that what happens to you in childhood can follow you the rest of your life if you don't get help. So you had the convictions, and then you said 5 children and 4 baby mamas
Yes,
in
I've been
in,
I've
in
been
3 different states.
right. Um, because I'm a veteran, and when I would move around, when I moved to West Virginia, I met my second wife was a doc. My first wife, when she went to Western, I went to Walbrook. I married her.
Mhm,
She had my first 2 kids. Back then, pregnant, married, took in the service, took in my kids. So
mhm,
then after that divorce, my second wife was a doctor. She was a plant virologist, right? I had custody of my daughter, Destiny, at the time when I met her. She
mhm,
wound up raising Destiny, and then her and I have a son, Nathan. But this was in West Virginia. She was working at the FDA down there. And when her assignment was up and we divorced, she went back to St. Louis. So that's how my son and my daughter got St. Louis. My 2 oldest are here. So then I
mhm,
have Kimani. He's in Memphis now. His mother started here, and she moved to North Carolina, and she moved to Memphis, but she started here. So that's how
mhm,
they got spread around St. Louis, to Maryland. And I've always been a relationship guy, but I look back at how I had to connect with a woman. How is that's somehow, and had to leave a part of myself. I think that's somehow connected to my molestation. I
mhm,
felt like
mhm.
I had to connect. Most
Right,
people that are
right.
molested are either promiscuous
Mhm,
or same
mhm.
sex. I was
Yeah.
very promiscuous, and then I would desire a relationship, and I just wanted to connect and just
Mhm.
leave. I don't know. I don't know what, but I can tell something had something to do with it. But all
Yeah,
my kids are
because we try to
fine.
suppress all of that, all of the stuff that happened. We try to suppress it. We don't want to think about it, and so you get involved with somebody who, is doing well, and you think that that's going to take away what you're feeling, and it doesn't. It's just there until you get help. So with your children, were you able to like build a relationship with them?
It's been very tumultuous, right? Because I'm a recovering addict, right? So, and then also a lot of times after I got clean, I was self-centered, meaning I gotta get
Mm-hmm.
myself, because I messed up so many years in my life. I gotta drive this truck. I gotta get my life together, and I wasn't. creating a space for them. Now, a lot of stuff, you know, I was misrepresented, right? You know, I married my oldest kid's mother. I took them in the military 17 and took care of them for years. And when I came home, they always were in my life. Maybe once I started using drugs, and me and their mom didn't get together, it could have been more. But how I get a lot of males, especially with addiction backgrounds and criminal backgrounds, how I get represented is not really always the case. But I couldn't concern myself with that, right? I participated in it. I'm not that. Some of them don't deal with me. I mean, really respect me now, and I'm like, yo, I done thrown over 30 shows, comedy shows in Baltimore. I work for myself in the truck. It's my truck. I'm throwing shows, impacting the community, on podcasts, in church. How come you still? I don't know how you look at me like that. It's, you know, but it's because of my oldest son that I really started the business, right? Because I wanted to throw him a show for about 6 years ago for his birthday. He didn't come initially, but when I threw the show, I got DJ Twin. He was out there with Mike Crosby and them. We picked out Pikesville Armory, and DJ Twin looked at me. He said, "Man, I don't want you to you know, I don't want you to book me as a DJ. Let's be partners. It's the gold mine." My first show, December, 8 people came. 6 weeks later, I went over capacity, my first comedy show. That's unheard of. I didn't know how to promote, didn't have flyers, paper flyers. I had Mike Brooks from Def Comedy Jam, Kevin Athley. Didn't know how to do nothing. And I, even though the comedians overcharged me, didn't know what I was doing. I still walked out of there with about 2 stacks in my pocket. I said, yo, there's something here. And that's how I got healed at the VA. They made me go to VFWs, and I named the tune, and they gave me beads, and I intentionally had made myself wear the beads daily and take pictures just before the business to celebrate that day and laugh, because I couldn't laugh. I made myself listen to music. Made myself be around people. And that's how, and then so when I threw my son's show and he didn't come, I threw it. And that's how I really I was bead man before I even got the business. Intentionally wearing beads. Now I didn't want to care what you thought about me. So I would wear them. I'd be at Walmart. They'd be looking at me. I'd just be like looking at them, right? I was working on myself. I made myself rejoice. This is the day the Lord have made. I lost everything. I found a positive every day. I made myself smile at people. I didn't like people, didn't give a damn about people, but I knew something was wrong. And then it started resonating with people, and it became who I am. And like, damn it, I'm going to celebrate. If I ain't in prison, or if I ain't high, if I'm here, this is the day the Lord have made. If I'm broke, got money, I'm going to celebrate and enjoy it. Nah, man. You know, and since then I've been, but my son finally called me. I had a show like 2 years ago. I had Bubba Dub. They announced me on the radio, 95.5. He called me. He said, "Dad," because I told him, I said, "You don't know who your father is." He said, "Well, Dad, I hear you now." I said, "Yeah, however you think. I'm a military cat, man, and a hard worker, truck driver. You don't know who your father real man." And I said, "I'm a throw show to all my kids hear me, not for the money." I said, you know, and now they see their father. And I'm good, right? You know, not, you know, and that was my motivation.
Yeah. Are they all adults now?
Yeah, all my kids are great, man. My daughter's Dominique. She's married. She's got a master, first in the family to have a master. She's in York. Damon, he's a single parent. He's raised both his kids. He's bought a home. Destiny, she went to a Missouri State, but she's coming up for my May 11th show. She's going to do poetry. She's working. None of them use drugs. Nathan, he's in Pittsburgh State University. He's doing great in school. He just won an NCAA championship track. Kimani, he graduated from Morehouse. I haven't talked to him in years. That's really kind of, you know, tight there. So, but I'm working, and I'm gonna try to, but all of them are well. Damon, Dominique, Kimani, Destiny, Nathan, I pray for them, right? You know, very proud of all of them. None of them use drugs. All of them have great lives. All of them are believers in Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good. That's good. And you know, sometimes like with the children, they are traumatized because of what's going on. You know, it could be because of the parents not being together, or, you know, them feeling like they want to be with their dad and they don't know what their dad is doing. So, you know, sometimes we got to wait for the children, get help for them, but we got to allow them to go through their trauma and work through that before they're ready to come back and talk. And, you know, and that takes time also, you know.
Right.
But I'm glad that even though that has happened with one of your sons, that it's not pushing you to, you know, go back out there and do something wrong. You still trying, you know, you're still staying on
That
course.
was tough. That was
Yeah.
tough, right? It was very emotional. I had to stay away from them because I would go get high, because that's what I did with my feelings. I couldn't process them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go get high. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
stay away, or put them away in
Mm-hmm.
a certain place mentally. And I hope they didn't think I was trying not to care, but I knew I couldn't handle those emotions,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that's very close to my heart. And, you know, not many
Right.
things speak to me, but and I couldn't handle the emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I
Mm-hmm.
kept getting high. I'm like, bruh, I could everything be going on perfect, and I try to reach them, and it's still a knife in my heart, but because of the
Yeah.
word of the Lord, He said He's gonna return my family to me. I believe in
Mm-hmm.
Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so I just try to walk in the love that He showed me. I kept breaking the law, kept getting high, kept going back over, but He kept loving kindness waiting for
Mm-hmm.
me. So now
Right.
that's my father, and I'm supposed to imitate them. What? Just wait for my kids. If they, as long as they
Mm-hmm.
don't disrespect me, real happy. Just how He kept reaching for me all the time, over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Even the stuff I got away, not the stuff I got caught, not got away. I got it. Ah, please, man. I done way more than I even got caught for.
Mm.
He
Wow.
has not rewarded me according to my iniquity, right? I'm doing,
Yeah.
you know, I have a beautiful woman. I drive a truck. Got 3 shows moving. Got a fundraiser. Right, he hasn't rewarded me according to my iniquity. My job
Mm-hmm.
knows about my past. They still work with me. I'm well respected. Um, and I try to treat, because of my pain. It's humbled me, make me want to treat people. I got a heart for people, the lost, the
Mm-hmm.
gangsters. Right, I got a heart for them. Like, don't judge them. Like, let's
Mm-hmm.
reach them. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you saying 20 years of your life, you just spent it from jail to treatment and jail to treatment, like that's not half of your life, but almost half of your life, you know. And so now you got a lot to live for. And when you what was it like during the times when they had you in those, you said you had 19 psychiatric admissions. Like, what was that like being in there?
You get, just like you get used to being locked up. You know what I'm saying? I actually was arrested more than 25 times because I was on drug court, and they sanctioned me one year from June to 11. They sanctioned me 12 times, right? And
Oh
just
my
on that
goodness.
alone. So, but so you just
Wow.
get used to it. So the psych wards, I was homeless. I didn't like being outside, right? I didn't like bandos.
Mhm.
That really wasn't me. So because of the veteran, right, I could always go down to Green Street, and I used to think I was faking suicide, but now that I look at it, bro, you was running around robbing dope boys 3 o'clock in the morning, doing this. You would try
Mhm.
smoking crack till your arm goes numb. I said, bro, you would try to kill yourself, so I would go there, right?
Mhm.
Because I was on the suicide hot list. Whenever I go, they check me slam in, right? So, and you
Mhm.
get used to it. I just get accustomed to it, just like you get accustomed to numb to going to jail, paddy wagon, squatting, coughing, just numb, just used to it. Hey, boy, I'm over here. Come over, show them back down here, and you just get used to it, right? As you get
Mhm.
homeless, you get used to living abnormal, right? So it was
Wow.
right. So yeah, I was a psych ward, and other vets was there. They like, man, how you been? Well, yeah, how you been? Where you trying to get with the social worker? We going out here, and man, we going to this long. I'm gonna try to go to PTSD program down Florida. Oh, I'm getting ready to go to Pennsylvania PTSD. I'm gonna just dual diagnose. Yeah, and we just you live that. You never know
Mm.
how to live in the real world, right?
Wow. And it's also a way of escape too, to escape reality and what's really going on. You just get caught up in other things. And so when you were in the substance abuse programs, because you said you 19 treatments, um, how long did it take you to really get that monkey off your back, that those drugs and alcohol?
I A while, because you might get past the physical part, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
mental part, man, I can't, you know. But every time I went, it helped. I can't really answer that, but I could
Mm-hmm.
12-step programs, the meetings, stuff I thought I wasn't hearing, I was hearing. Stuff the VA
Mm-hmm.
taught me, I thought I wasn't hearing. The preachers coming in church that don't talk about somebody, oh, jailhouse religion. No, I thought I wasn't hearing. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like seeds. It was like seeds. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
so when I first get clean, all this information, boom, come. So people be like, how can you do this with 30 days clean? Because all of that stuff, coping skills, breathing, I'm doing breathing techniques. I'm like, all of that stuff. I pray in the morning, pray at night, a gratitude list. It's become a way of life for me. And it just all comes back, right? I know how
Mm-hmm.
to ground myself, pinch myself, and then the other classes. So when you surrender, it just all it the stuff you learn is there. Like people like you, doctors like you, that I thought y'all was crazy. No, y'all wasn't crazy. Y'all was telling me stuff. It just didn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
and then the Word of God. I've been reading the Bible every night since like '96, right? And it just take root. It just take root. Even though
Wow.
whether I understood it, whether I did it, every night I said I'm gonna be committed to that. And then
Mm-hmm.
when it took hold, man, like it's just over a process, sanctification over process, and then
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I can't really explain it, but that's the best I can do.
Now let me ask you
Doctor.
this. I'm gonna read this list over again, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. So 25 arrests, 5 convictions in 3 different states, 5 children, 4 baby mamas in three different states, 19 psych admissions, 19 treatment substance abuse admissions, and 19 long-term programs. After hearing all of that and all that you've gone through, have you really forgiven yourself? And how it's affected you and how it's affected the people around you, how that affected, I should say, the people around you.
I What really helped me my forgiveness is Jesus Christ, right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the power to forgive myself, right? When I read, he's my sins the east to the west. I've done horrific things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people I hurt, that what helped me in the way I cherish relationships now. I was locked up there, MRDCC, and I was looking in that metal plate, and I seen somebody walk by. I said, that looked like my son. And it
Mm.
wind up was, he didn't even know I was locked up. He was working down DOC at the time. They had to switch him, right?
Oh,
But I
okay.
looked in that metal thing and I said, it ain't nobody's fault but yours. It ain't, because my mother was verbally abusive after I told her I was molested, because she didn't have treatment. It must have happened to her. But
Mm-hmm.
so it ain't the dude's fault. It ain't my mother's fault. I made the choice that I made, and I'm here by myself on my lonely because I broke all my relationships, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I said, Lord, if you give me another shot, I'm gonna cherish my relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I start, and that's how the entertainment thing is. I really believe in connecting with people, treating people right. That
Mm-hmm.
relationship is the currency of life. Love the Lord thy God and love your neighbors yourself. Church
Right.
meeting, and we so busy dividing ourselves, right? And that became important to me because of the people that I hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and now, and his forgiveness, the only thing that I could receive, because I couldn't forgive myself. And it kind of
Mm-hmm.
beat me graceful with other people, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
all I can really say, man. But he has been forgiven much, loves much. You got to look
Right.
at the lady that Jesus cast 7 demons out of. She was the first one there, right? And when he
Mm-hmm.
resurrected, right? He who
Right.
has been forgiven much, loving much. Look at Paul, man. Like, so man, look, I love him. I ain't perfect. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
blessed, right? My health,
Right.
I got kidney disease. You can't even tell that. I got AFib. You can't tell that. I'm 57. My health is good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing like 8 to 10 grand a month without the shows, without the shows, without
Mm-hmm.
DJing. You talking about my rest, my convictions, my lifestyle? Like it don't even make sense to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I believe in helping people, right? And I like the gangsters. I like the gangsters. I like the sisters, because I'm the dude kept going back, right?
Right.
And resilient. I'm
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
resilient. All the failings made me resilient and tough as nails, like
Mm-hmm.
you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
even when you
That's a
lose, you win.
testimony. That's a testimony. It really is. I'm going to read some of the comments, and then y'all, I'm going to turn on um the phone. So if you want to call in and you want to, ask him a question, or you got, something positive you want to say, you can feel free to do that. I'm going to put the number up on the screen. And for those of you who may have just jumped on, this is Mr. William Watson, DJ Beatman. Now I know the story behind the beats. Because I always wondered, I said, I wonder why he says why is it Beatman? But now I understand the story. And so I want you all to, if you feel so inclined, to call in. The other thing I want to say to everybody is, please look at the bottom of the screen. If you can donate to the Cash App, please do that, because there are people that I work with. I can't say who they are. Everybody I work with, you see this collar, it's confidential. But there are people that I help. And like I always say, a lot of times I'm giving out of my pocket. There's also a couple of events coming up that I would like to buy tickets for them to go to. You could be a sponsor if you want to give your name, or if you want to remain anonymous. But the Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. No amount is too small or anything like that. Whatever you can give is $ Lady J Flavor. I think I have my Zelle rolling down there too, but we want to make sure that we not only just do the stories on here, but that we also are able to help those that are really, really in need. So I'm going to put the call-in number up on the screen, and you can call in and talk. And then in the meantime, I'm going to read these comments. And starting with the first comment, I think I did all of those already. Stephen Copeland said, "What's up, B man? Love you, my brother, forever." Cherie Rogers said, "Hi, Lady J. Hi, William. Thank you for sharing, Cherie Rogers." Gina Jackson said, "Hi, Dr. Lady J. And shout out to my childhood friend, William Watson, also Mr. Unstoppable. Yes, speak your truth, and all will hear how God has blessed your life." And Stephen Copeland says, "Keep doing what you are doing, my brother. You have come a long way in Jesus Christ." Um, he said, "Willie Watt is a mini me."
Really, why?
Yeah,
That's
Willie
what
Watt.
bad Stevie. Stevie was my
Yes.
first sponsor.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he taught
Okay.
me the word of God. He taught me the steps. He had explained I was doing a fourth step and I
Mm-hmm.
robbed stores, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
told him, he said, "Well, did you hurt anybody?" I said, "No, I did the white man on them stores. That's the white, I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking the white back." He said, "Well, I didn't even realize I was hurting people." He said, "Some of
Wow.
them people lost their job." He had to explain it to me. He said, "Some of them people are traumatized. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
bosses fired them people." And I was like, I was that dark. I said, "Oh man, I'm just taking for the white man. That's why I only pick certain stores, the white man." But he was like, "No, no. I didn't know. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really think I was doing nothing wrong." He explained it to me. He did. Stephen
Mm-hmm.
Copeland. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, I go and visit in and out of the prisons and detention centers, and sometimes you just check out, you know, and you really, I've been there where I just checked out. I didn't know what was going on, and you get so overwhelmed and there's so much going on, and it's so much inside of you that you haven't talked about or gotten help for, and so you just check out and you just doing whatever, and a lot of
Right.
times don't care. You don't care. So
Right.
I definitely understand that. Now, how many years has it been since you've been away from the treatment centers and the jail and all of that?
Since my last arrest was 2012. And I was
Hmm.
innocent for that, but they gave me 10 years suspended sentence and $42,000 restitution.
Oh
The dude
wow.
I was with, I was innocent, right? He did something to some girl. We used to, the DMIs, white guys, DMIs rolled down on him.
Hmm.
We out Cecil County. He didn't
Hmm.
tell me what. So when they rolled down on him, he handed me a bat. I didn't know what was going on, but anyway, he almost
Hmm.
killed the guy, right? So when the
Hmm.
detective grabbed me, they say, "What happened?" I say, "Man, I don't know." He said, "You got blood all the way from your shoulder all the way to your all over my clothes." I say, "Man,
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what happened." He said, "You don't know what happened?" He said, "All right then. You hit the guy with a closed fist. They charged you second degree assault." I went to Cecil County Circuit Court because my record. They offered me 2 years. I didn't even
Mm.
touch the guy. $42,000 restitution, right? My PO stood against me, all that. But I did I did the 5 years probation. They gave him 8. But I'm saying that to say my last one, I was innocent. But I said all the ones I got away, I said, God, I'm gonna eat this. And
Hmm.
that's how I got on my classes. So when I went back to the judge said, Mr. Watson, you working with suicide prevention? She threw everything out. She said, you've been above and beyond. But that
Wow.
was the last
Wow.
arrest. The last treatment, it's like now it's probably about 6 years, around 15 to 7, I think it's like 17. And they kicked me out, right? They said they
Hmm.
wouldn't let me in no more treatments. They said, Mr. Watson, you're institutionalized. I said, I'm 100% disabled veteran. Y'all not helping a veteran. They refused to let me in. Prairie Point,
Mm.
nowhere. So it forced
Wow.
me to get an apartment. I got my first
Mhm.
trailer out there. I had a bad criminal record, rental history. They gave me a trailer. I had to practice paying my bills. I had to keep my bills low because I had once knew how to do all that. My trailer was
Mhm.
$675. It took me 3 months to stop eating TV dinners. I had to learn how to live. I had to budget. I had to learn how to clean, do everything that I had knew healthy.
Right. Right.
And so
Hmm.
I stayed. So it's been about six years, right? I was there at that place like 2 years. I've been at
Hmm.
my place now 3.5. The landlord where I'm at, he's getting a house built for me. So I'm waiting on that. So I
Hmm.
repaired my credit, my criminal record, my taxes, um, suspended license, everything that you had to fight, man, which is hell fighting, right? I
Mm.
know how to do it.
Okay.
I
Hmm.
dropped FSDI. I went back to work because I was getting that, right? All of that, man. Ticket to
Hmm.
work. I was on HUT Section 8, all of that, man. Food stamps, programs, reentry programs, VA programs. It's hard work. Look, it's not easy,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
everything's not fair. Child
Right.
support, taxes. I paid taxes. I didn't, all of that. Had my
Mm.
license damned up, my tags. But I said, okay. And they make it, if I got the resources I got and it's been hard, I can imagine a mom, right, just coming home,
Yeah.
female coming home with
Mm.
kids, or man, he don't got no trade. And how the
Hmm.
hell he gonna make it with child support and the
Right.
criminal
Right.
record? Man, it's
Hmm.
stacked. It's so unfair.
Yeah. Yeah. And that can cause trauma. That
Yeah.
can definitely cause trauma on people. So if anybody wants to call in, you can call in at 443. I'm just checking the phone. Did I turn it on? Let me make sure. Yeah, it's on. 443-297-4753. That's the number on the screen. If you want to comment, you can do that. Please don't forget the Cash App and make a donation. If you would like to sponsor anyone. You know what? This is what I want to do while we're on here in case anybody wants to call. But I want to know what you're doing now. And I know you have a big event coming up this Saturday. Tell us
Yes,
about that.
yes, ma'am. This is May 4th, right? This is Black attire fair, grown and sexy comedy, right? We're gonna have light wines and hors d'oeuvres free.
Mhm.
All of the proceeds are going to my father's heart, right?
Mhm.
It's the transitional housing, helping the community, male and female, housing, mental health, right? All the proceeds going to that, right? It's going to be
Okay.
at 401 Mr. Rodney and Rennie down at Downtown Cultural Center. We're gonna
Okay.
have featuring Kiki, Philip Plays, comedian Barbie, JoJo, right? And I'm gonna be DJing, and great food and comedy. Laughter's good medicine, right?
Mhm.
Classy event, and all of the proceeds of even if a person wants to donate $2 or whatever. If you want some tickets, I'll give you some tickets to donate to some people, right? And
Mhm.
it's for recovery, right? It's for recovery, mental health, right?
Oh
So,
wow.
May the 4th, you can follow me it's on Eventbrite. You can follow me, Daddy508 on IG or Facebook, DJ Man. And this is
Mhm.
honoring my mother, right? May 11th, same place. I will always love my mama. We got my daughter, Destiny. She's a poet and a model. She's flying down from Missouri. Right, we got
Mhm.
Miss Lottie, Dominican female from Boston. I believe in diversity. We got comedian Mimi. She just came off Apollo. Right,
Mhm. Mhm.
Will Thomas. Right, and if
Mhm.
you see the flyer, my mom and dad's up top. Right, I was in addiction when my mother died. Right, she died around Mother's Day. She never
Oh
saw the
wow.
gift I bought her because I bought her the gift a week late because I had to wait another check because I spent it on drugs and she went in a coma and she died. So
Mm.
Mother's Day is very hard for me. Her birthday is May 23rd.
Mm.
But so every year, this is be my third one. I say, Ma, I know you see me, right? I know my father seen me. He died too, right? Like your
Mhm.
son finally got it, right? And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but dad, I try to have something to make a difference. But laughter, good medicine, man, and
It
music and
is.
create memories.
Mhm.
People underestimate that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They
Right.
underestimate that.
Well, shout out to you for doing these things. And I always say a lot of times the trauma that we go through, um, it kind of pushes us into our purpose for what we were supposed to be doing. It's like you finally one day that light bulb goes off and you wake up and you realize, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So shout out to you for, walking into your purpose. And someone has a question. It's I guess me. They said, what advice would you have for someone just getting out with little support?
Right. I know me. She asked me that question the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Reentry programs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mental
Mm-hmm.
health program, even if they don't have, if you got to go into a recovery program, which probably they don't particularly like, but it's got structured environment, man. It doesn't have to necessarily be a prison one, but we need a structured environment. And then like I was depressed and didn't realize it. You're gonna need somebody to help what I do.
Yeah.
Transportation, how long you've been down, the technology. So reentry programs, ex-offender programs, mental health programs, like job programs, like
Mhm,
anything, right? You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Right?
mhm.
And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna be broke. It's
Yeah.
gonna be tempted to go back, want to quit. People gonna talk about you, all of that, man. It's hard. And Jesus, read the Bible, right? Read the
Mhm.
Bible and like the same grit that got you need help, man. And but
Yeah.
go to reentry programs, Maryland, go down the manpower, all kind of stuff, right? It's help
Mhm.
available.
The reentry programs is a great suggestion because in the reentry programs, a lot of them already have those wraparound services, which can help you, looking for a job or how to act at an interview, how to dress. They It's so many different things that they're doing, therapy. So those programs are really good, and I love that they have them now for people to go to when they come out. Because remember back when we were growing up, it was halfway houses.
Right.
But a lot of people were saying, nothing was going on. You go in, you come back out. So they just got in trouble again. And so I'm glad that we have these transitional houses where it's a full program. and you have to go through this program. And so, to answer your question, me, that it, like he said, it might be hard, but it's necessary. And whoever is thinking about, whether or not they should go, just think about the fact that it's not going to be forever, but there may be a step that you need to take before you come back out, to society and trying to live your life. So, what advice, and I also wanted to ask you too, because I tell you, it's a lot of young people who think that prison is fun. Like they kind of look at it like it's a hotel. Um, when I go to these detention centers, they be laughing and joking like they at home, you know and so and it always bothers me because I hate the fact that they're so comfortable there. So what advice could you give to a young person, because you were young when you were doing all of this stuff? What advice would you give to a young person going down that bad road?
Um, it ain't what it seems, right? Like, and everybody not gonna make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all them cats in there, contrary to whatever they are afraid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a game. It's not a game, right? Jails is just be a lot of fights and being tough and stressed. But when you go to prison, them cats ain't playing, right? They try
Mm-hmm.
not to beef, they're quiet, but if they beef, somebody could get them killed, right? And
Yeah.
it's not a game, right? And so that tough, the way the media portray it, no, man, and everybody's not gonna make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it's tougher to be responsible in a man than it is to punch somebody in the face or to take the easy route.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, pray, man, and it's not what it appears. I don't even pay that stuff no mind. Fake ass gangsters, man. Fake ass rappers and gangsters, man. Man, look, I know cats would spin your wig, yo. They
Mm-hmm.
act like it's a game, man. It's not a game, right? It is not a
Right.
game. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying I'm the toughest thing, but my story speaks for itself, right? God is with me,
Right.
but you don't make it, you know. Now, if cats think about doing something kind of way now, I walk with the Lord. But if they just look at what God done brought me through, I think I look the other way. And
Yeah.
whatever a male or female has overcome, man, they have the authority to go back to sexual trauma, to go back to women,
Mm-hmm.
abusive relationships, men in prison, and go back and take authority and speak to these people, man. God
Right.
delivered you. You have authority now, right? Don't
Right.
and get somebody
Mm-hmm.
free. Get somebody
Mm-hmm.
free.
Right, right, right. Well, you certainly are a great example of overcoming. I watch your stuff on social media and all the stuff you have going on, and I like I said, when I sat down and started this, I'm amazed at, after all this stuff that you've gone through, you still in your right mind. You still out here like doing your thing. That's only God. That is just
Right,
absolutely amazing.
right,
And it just shows that He always had a plan for your life. And you took a lot of detours to get there, but you
right.
here now. And so you are really a great example to a lot of these brothers that's coming out, because they coming out every day.
Right,
And you're an example to them that it's possible to make it. And you're also an example to the young people, because what they doing now, you already did that. You already been there and
right.
done that. So I just want to thank you for coming on tonight. Um, Tell
Whatever
them
you
how.
need me to do, Dr. Lady J, I'm a DJ for you for free. I'm gonna send some money tonight. You ain't even talking about half the stuff you doing, right?
Yeah,
In the church, out of the church, on media, male, female. Like I done
yeah.
seen you around Christopher Anderson, Kim Klasick,
Hmm.
right? So whatever you
Hmm.
need from me, like I'm there, right? I'm
Thank you
there.
so much. I definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate people like you who see the work that I'm doing, because a lot of people don't pay any attention. It's a lot of work, and it's me. It's just me. I don't have no team here. It's just me. I'll be up sometimes like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning working to make sure I got everything done. So thank you for that. And tell everybody how they can get tickets for your event. And I'm sorry I won't be there. I'll be out of town. But how can they get tickets for your event this week?
they can go on Eventbrite and they could type in Black Attire Affair Grown and Sexy Comedy, or Facebook events, Black Attire, or they can contact me 443-993-1090 and get a ticket. Right. So
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I started last year where I've made it a point when people have something going on, I'm going to show up. You know, if I'm not out of town, I'm going to be there. I'm going to support because y'all, it's a lot of fun. Once you get there, and sometimes I go, I don't really know anybody. People recognize me, but I don't really, know them. But it's fun once you get there, and I can only imagine that this is going to be really fun. I love the title of it and everything. So make sure y'all get these tickets. Like I said, if it's anybody out there who would like to sponsor someone to go, how much are the tickets?
the tickets are $40. It
Okay.
includes hors d'oeuvres and light wine free. Right. So
Okay.
and all the even if they don't like even if they can't afford that, if they want to give water, food, or whatever donations to help somebody or anything, like you said, nothing's too small, right? Or buy a
Right.
ticket for
Exactly.
somebody, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We got somebody, Warner, Vonda Warner Law said, Will is my cousin. Our family is very proud of him, as you should be. That's
That's
good.
my
That's
sister.
awesome.
She said, we've been connected at the hip all my life. She taught me how to walk. I've
Oh
been
wow.
trailing behind her all my life. She a year older than me. She been at all my events ever since I started, right? A1
Mm-hmm.
day one, right?
Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, Vonda, I'm glad that you're there because some people don't have that type of family support. So thank you and everybody else who supports him. And like I was saying, if you all would like to sponsor, because we have some people that just came home, I would love for them to. Thank you to those who have been giving me tickets for people to go places. Someone donated tickets to Keystone Corner. And I was able to give out a lot of tickets for people to go. A lot of the people that were just coming home, I was able to give them tickets, them and their friends, to go.
Wow.
So, people are very nice, and some people want to remain anonymous. But I just want to say thank you to those of you who have been giving, supporting when I ask, and also this week. Now we have this event coming up this week, and I know. Um, there's one couple that I would like to give tickets to. He just came home he came home in February. He spent 25 years in prison. He went in when he was 17. He's in his 40s now. And so,
Right.
I actually, DJ, I actually had been, I went, we would talk through the tablet. And then when he had to go to court, I went to his court date. We had never really seen each other. I saw him at court, but he didn't know who I was. I knew who he was just from the pictures and stuff. But I finally got to meet him in person on Saturday at Coppin State. And I want to tell y'all because a lot of times people's attitudes about people that like your situation, the things that you've gone through, people will look down on you. And they do that to people that come out. And so I want to congratulate him today. I don't know if he's watching, but his name is Delmont Player. He was on here a few weeks ago. He got his first job today. So I want
Okay.
to say congratulations to him. He's actually in one of those programs that you were speaking about a few minutes ago. And these programs are so great. And so they do things like that. They help you to find jobs. And, so you're slowly coming back into society because think about being gone for 25 years. A lot of stuff has changed, you know.
Right.
And so they're able to come out and go into these programs. So I would love to give him and his lady.
Text me. Give him
Some
my
tip.
number. And give him
Okay.
my number. Text me his name. Tell him his name. Call me. His name be at the front door. Him and his lady.
Got you. Okay. Okay. I will let him know. And thank you so much. And this is what we have to do as a community. It's about supporting everybody and letting them know that there are people out here. We're not looking at what you did. We're happy that you came out and we're out here to support you and help to, push you on your way and help you in any way that we can. And so, yeah, I just want to say I'm proud of him. Also, another young man is Drew Wole. Now, Drew got out not too long ago. It hasn't even been a year, and he is an amazing artist. Like his art is just unbelievable, black art. And he's gotten with this group called Black Boy Art, and they're touring. So a lot of people are coming out and they're doing great stuff. And he spent 10 years in prison. And so, and we have people right now as we're talking, there are people who listen from inside. And so I want to say to you, you're one of the people when you come on the screen, you encouraging brothers inside. They listen through their family's phone at the shows. And so we're also on iHeartRadio. So I just want to say thank you to you, for
Thank you.
coming on tonight, being transparent, telling your story, because every time somebody comes on this camera and you tell your story, I get calls and texts after the show is over of people saying thank you, for bringing that person on. And so, thank you again. And I think it was another, oh, Robin Poindexter. Sorry, I missed Robin's comment. Robin said, thank you, sir, for sharing your story. This has been a light in others' tunnels. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a light for other people. Um, Ivana said, amen. Absolutely. And so, if anyone else would like to come on and tell your story, I will tell y'all that my whole month, every Monday in May is booked. I won't be in town next Monday, but I get so many calls for people wanting to come on and tell their story and just talk. And so, but if you would like to tell your story, you can text or call me on that number on the screen. Um, and I will start, booking a calendar for June. If you have someone that you want me to visit, you can call that number, and we can talk about visitation and all of that. As a chaplain, I'm able to go in and out whenever I want to. So if you need help and you need someone to go see your loved one, you can let me know and we'll work something out. I think that was all I had to say. Wait, I got my little notes back here. Let me get my notes. Always want to give a shout out to Sean Gardner, who's serving a life sentence. When we give a shout out to Brother Jasheen Walls, he's trying to come home. This is the Behind the Wall Mentors group. Bakaria Tiba has Beyond the Wall Mentors group, and they do amazing stuff. And then I also want to say, give a shout out to my little brother Marco. Marco goes to court next month, so we're praying that Marco will be able to come home. It's time for Marco to come home. And also want to give a shout out to Dorier Green. Hopefully they're working on him coming home. And then I'm going to give a shout out also to Joseph. So, these are, and Monty, these are people that are inside, but they support this program from the inside. And so just want to shout out you brothers and thank you so much. And any last words you want to say before we go?
Thank you, Dr. Lady J. And anybody names, text me, right? Text me.
Mhm.
You got some cats that you need that want to come to the shows. You know some dudes that do art, that do poetry. Send them to me. I'll book them, send them on to them. But who just text me the names, and they get coming to the shows. But any artists you got, hit me up because I'm crazy throwing shows and I can help them generate money and get their art out there or
Okay.
their gift
Okay.
or their craft.
Good. When I hang up from this phone, before I take this collar off that I had on all day, I'm going to send those names to you because I promise you, when I take this collar off, I'm going to sleep because I am tired. I've been running all day. But I definitely will do that. And these are good brothers. They're
Enjoy your
real good
trip.
brothers.
Enjoy your trip. Enjoy your trip.
Yes. Yes. So I leave on Friday. But DJ, I'm still be working. Even though I'm on a trip, I'll be working in between. So but I leave Friday and I'll be back next Tuesday. So we won't have this show on Monday night, y'all. This coming Monday, there won't be a show. But the following week we'll get back to it. And uh Who's on there? Let me look at my calendar. That particular week, next week, actually, we will do the show next week, but instead of Monday, look for it on Thursday at 8 o'clock, and we're gonna have a gentleman on, Leslie Vass. You know him? You don't know
Nah.
him? This brother's story is absolutely, and that's I know they saying here she go again, but his story is really amazing because I actually, he sent me footage of when he got arrested, and he didn't do the crime, and he spent time in prison. And so
Wow.
I wanna we're gonna have him come on, talk about that. And he was young. I think he was 19. And I was just like, wow, when I looked at the footage of that, and I don't know if you remember Al Sanders. He was one of the
Yeah.
yeah, he was actually doing the interview. And so I'm going to show that when we do the show next week. I'm actually show that so y'all can see, him saying that he was just like, he was so young, and he was saying, I didn't do it. That wasn't me. So it's still some things that he's fighting with that case at his age now. So we're gonna
Wow.
talk to him next week. Like, this stuff, I'm telling y'all, stay out of trouble, because once you get in, it's hard to get out. You got to go through some stuff before you get out. So, DJ, thank you so much again for coming on. Please know that I support you in everything that you're doing. If it's anything I can do, if you need me to host or whatever, because I do that too, just let me
Okay.
know. Just let me
I
know.
know you host. I
Yeah.
got you.
Are you
Yeah, I
serious?
know you host. I
Yes.
got you. All
You just
right. I love
listen.
your intro. Your intro is fire. That whoever said that, that dude is fire.
A Kiwi, my godson, that's his brother. A Kiwi had been locked up for 7 years, and then he ended up going back, and I think he did another 3 years. And all these years, DJ, um, my godson is my godson. He didn't live with me and everything, but I never had a chance to really meet his brother because he was always incarcerated. And so when I was doing these shows, he was coming on, he was commenting. I'm like, I forgot his name, Mr. All or Nothing. That's his name. And I'm like,
Okay.
Mr. All or Nothing, thank you so much. And one day you need to come on the show. And he was like, I'm Will's brother. And I was like, my godson, Will? And so when he came on, he did the show. And with the what you saw in the intro, he did that on the show. I didn't know he did spoken word poetry, and that brother is powerful. Now, he's out now, and so I think he was able, because they sent him home, but he had to be on home detention for a year. He couldn't even leave his house, and we talked about that. And so now, January is over. He's been out. He, doing his thing. He's in Park Heights, and yeah, that intro. I was like, I got to use that intro on my show. And yeah, he's amazing. He really is. So yeah, but I do host. That's what
I
I
will book.
do.
You will be booked before this year's out. Trust me. By probably October, because I'm gonna push these next couple ones. My Unity in the community event. I want you to come through. I don't. You don't have to host that, but I want you to
Uh-huh.
come through. But one
Yeah, I'll be
after
there.
my September 21st, you go whatever I put together. You host it.
Yeah,
Period.
because I host a lot of the CP. I wear so many different hats. That's the thing. And so, but I think the politicians know more about my hosting than other people, because I host a lot of their events. And
Okay.
so I'm hosting that, but I host a lot of stuff. I've always been hosting. And then I'm a chaplain, so I had to put this on and do this thing. Then I'm doing the media stuff, and so it's a lot, but it's fun, and I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm doing what I feel like God has called me to do. But yeah, just give me a call. You got my number and everything. Let me know.
Okay. All right. That's what it is.
Okay, all
All
right.
right. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Be safe out there. Be safe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, I'll be praying for you. So, everybody, this is DJ Beatman, Mr. William Watson. Thank you so much for coming on What Up Baltimore. Y'all have a great night. Be blessed. I will see you again next Thursday. Make sure you do me a favor. Y'all have to. I put it on your page too. Um, I need y'all to share this video to at least 3 people. and let them know, let them hear his story, and especially share it to some young person who's dealing with some stuff right now. Show them this video. Okay. All right. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Just wanted to let you know that the host of this show appreciates the time that you've spent with them. Now, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with everything that we're doing. And most of all, thank you for tuning in to What Up Baltimore online radio, where the people have the power.